dog's crying, whining. We're like 2.5 hours in.
Getting like loud about it, like.
There's not a good area just to pull over. So I finally see a road that has a pretty wide entrance. It looks like an entrance to a driveway. So I'm like, we're in the middle of nowhere. Every direction, you can't see a house, you can't see nothing. So I'm like, I'm gonna pull over right here, it'll be fine.
He wants to be as far off the road as possible, and that gave him the most space to do it.
So I get off the road, and we're gonna leash up the dogs, and I see a cop with lights on literally gets off the road onto the grass, heading straight for us. And then he gets on his loudspeaker, and he's like, you're blocking the road, move forward. So Cara didn't even know what the fuck's going on.
He just like, I got, basically like, I gotta go, hands me Norman's leash, and I'm like, what do I do?
2 seconds later, now there's a barrage of emergency vehicles. So we left very quickly.
Yeah, Bella peed, she stopped crying, Norman peed, we jumped in the vehicle and left.
In the middle of nowhere, you just never know. Hi, we're James and Cara, and this is Kerouacs Cruising.
We are two ordinary people exploring what it means to build a life that feels true, day by day, from one campfire to the next.
This is our adventure, and we're glad you're part of it.
Good morning, friends. James just stuck a cookie in his mouth and I hit the record. We are on the road. So I think last episode we left you guys at, we had just finished with hanging out all over Arizona, our tour of Arizona, starting out with our wedding anniversary in Laughlin and Bullhead City. We camped on the river. Then we followed my sister and brother-in-law running the Cocodona 250 all over through Prescott, Sedona, and up to Flagstaff. Then we spent a few days in Flagstaff, really just relaxing before we hit the road, making sure that we have everything we need, last minute checks on the mailbox, just little things like that to make sure we were ready to hit the road. And then we made our way to Santa Fe and visited Kaatje Jones. If you've been following us for a while, then you may be familiar with the interview we did with her last season. She was one of the co-authors with us in the Together We Rise book. And so that was really cool. It was the first time meeting her in person. And what a magical place Santa Fe is. I've always known about Santa Fe. I've lived in the Southwest most of my life, but it was not on my radar as a place that I felt like I needed to go. I actually thought it was further south in New Mexico. I didn't realize that it was north of Albuquerque, actually. It is a beautiful area. Such a beautiful area.
Santa Fe is really like where we live at home.
Yeah.
High desert, red rocks, trees everywhere, so it doesn't seem like the desert.
Yeah.
It was absolutely beautiful, really. And we had a great time. Kaatje has a beautiful home and
lives in a gorgeous area.
Yeah.
So Santa Fe itself.
Brought us hiking, and she brought us on some great hiking trails. The dogs really enjoyed it. And Kaatje does some healing modalities. So if you ever want to hook up with her, her information is probably on our website.
Well, we definitely will put it in the show notes for sure. So she works through voice therapy is her modality primarily, and it's really cool the setup that she has. It was really awesome to witness and experience. And like he said, she took us on a beautiful hike. We went to a delicious Thai restaurant for lunch. We really had a great time. We went climbing while we were there, which was really great. It was my first time doing anything really physical since the car accident. So, I can't say that
and that's car accident number 2.
Car accident number 2, yeah, the one in March. I can't say that I killed it. I can't say that, I excelled in climbing, but James thinks I completed 7 routes. I think I only did 6, but it doesn't matter. I completed, a handful of routes.
What was cool is it's the first time we've been to a climbing gym without Ryan and Deidre.
That's pretty cool too. That is pretty cool.
So we found one that had auto belays.
Yeah.
And now we've gonna be a few more places and found some more that's on our route.
Yeah. So that's very exciting. There's 3 climbing gyms in Flagstaff, and Two of them are exclusively bouldering, and which is, if you're not familiar with climbing, they're just short walls and you don't rope yourself in at all. It's just, if you fall, you know, the worst that's going to happen is you sprain a wrist or an ankle or something like that. And then the one that does have a larger climbing wall where you rope up, you have to, it's human belay. So somebody has to be somebody has to be on the ground manning the rope, so that if you fall, you don't fall all the way to the ground, you just fall off the wall. The gyms that we like to go to, because we both like to climb at the same time, it has auto belays, so they have a mechanical device that slowly lets you down to the ground when you fall.
We do have the right equipment now to be able to climb and belay each other.
Yeah, we can.
So,
I think we just need more practice. We don't have the knots down and things like that to really feel 100% confident out there on our own.
Well, the other thing that was cool about Santa Fe is their art district.
Oh my goodness, the culture.
You can just walk for blocks and blocks and blocks and find some of the coolest art. And I found somebody that was just welding like transformers together with old bicycle wheel gears and just leftover parts. Hopefully if we post this episode that we can include some of the pictures.
Yeah, there was some
so
really,
cool,
like,
some of the stuff.
steampunk kind of looking creations. It was cool and beautiful things. I took a picture. I have a friend who flamingos are her reminder that the universe, that source is looking out for her, and I found this bedazzled, I mean, it could be straight diamonds. When we walked through town, all the shops were closed, so we couldn't actually go in, so I don't know what the price point of these flamingos were, but they looked like they were gemstone covered flamingos with gold beak and gold feet, and I mean, they were freaking gorgeous. Just some really, really beautiful stuff, really beautiful jewelry, really beautiful blankets and clothes, like a lot of just handmade, artistic, beautiful items. And like you said, it's just blocks and blocks of it. They have a whole street called Canyon Row, and then their plaza in their heart of downtown, their original adobe buildings, was all full of it too. So it just really, really beautiful culture. It's funny because I grew up in Tucson, and Tucson has a lot of the Mission style or Santa Fe style buildings, and in my brain that was just the name of the buildings, and not that they were named after the city where they were so pronounced. And most of the buildings are that adobe flat roof style Santa Fe buildings. And so going through the downtown area where these buildings are hundreds of years old and they're maintained like they're brand new, and they're narrow streets with brick-lined sidewalks, and it was just really, really cool, beautiful area. But Santa Fe itself is actually fairly flat, and not really
high
big dense street. Yeah, high elevation. But then you go to the east, which is where our friend lives, and you get a lot more hills and a lot more mountains, and you got lakes and streams and rivers, and it becomes a lot more, it's a lot more natural, feels a lot more relaxing, and a lot more, it's just more beautiful in general.
We drove up to Glorieta. I think it's Glorieta Peaks, but I'm not really sure about
Pass, maybe Pecos River.
Pecos River. And wow, what an incredible drive up there, and the dogs really had a good time.
We found a spot where we could pull over, and actually in the future we may go ahead and camp in this spot because it's a pretty good pullover, and then you follow the trail in just a little bit, and there's a bunch of tent sites right there along the river, so it was a really beautiful spot. So if you go up there,
big fishing.
Yeah, big fishing up there. A lot of trout
fishing.
Yep. So if you do go up there, you're interested in camping in the Santa Fe area, we actually stayed at a campground, Rancheros campground, a beautiful campground, a lot of old growth, just because we didn't know the area and we wanted to be able to optimize our time with our friend.
We were literally 8 minutes from our friend's house, And the dispersed camping spots were like 35, 40 minutes because you got to get out of the city.
Yeah, and up
limits.
into the mountains, yeah. So, Rancheros, if you're staying in the Santa Fe area, I mean, it was a 15-minute drive into Santa Fe proper. Really nice campground. So many old growth pinyon and juniper trees that it really provided privacy in between the various campsites. Like from our window, we couldn't see into the window of the other RV. I mean, you could see the RV was there, but it just created a nice natural barrier, and it had a trail around the campground, which was really nice as well. So if you're in that area, that's where we would recommend staying. If you want connections, otherwise go up the Glorieta Pass to the Pecos River, just any of the pull-offs on the right-hand side. They've got some like standard dispersed camping spots, but it's kind of like Sedona, where it's like, it looked like to us that it was like group camping. So it was like, you know, multiple people are hanging out in the same cleared, open, flat area. This pull-off area, plenty of space to have your camper or RV, and then if you have a tent, we always have a tent with us, you could set it up closer to the river. Otherwise, it's far enough off the road. If you have pop-outs and all of that, it would be clear enough, I would think. So that was really nice. Driving up there was nice. It was beautiful. It was just a really cool area, just being immersed in the culture and the beauty of it all. It was definitely a place that we're going to come back to. It was not on my radar before going to see Kaatje, and I definitely want to go back.
Yeah, it was a great visit, really. And so we left Santa Fe, and now we're heading through Kansas.
Yes, we're on our way to Kansas City,
Missouri.
Yep.
And we're going straight through the heart of Kansas. And when we checked the weather, the weather was perfect. We're like, oh, no.
It was like too hot. Like we opted to stay at campgrounds because we knew we were going to need the air conditioning because it's flat in Kansas. I mean, everybody knows that. So not a lot of shades. There's no way to just get out of the sun. So we're like 90 degrees. We are going to need the air conditioner to be comfortable. So we want to have hookups.
One of the things that I found is, and I just never been through Kansas really, is the RV park we stayed at last night, because we're only driving 4 hours, so it's going to take us a couple days to get through Kansas. You pull over, it's right on the road you're on, but $30 a night for full hookups, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
You can't beat that, so pretty easy. Last night was easy pull-in. They had a nice spot for the dogs to run around. There was rabbits.
That was great, yeah. Norman was so happy. So the campground had a field behind it, and then behind that field was farmland that's not being farmed right now. It looked really overgrown, actually. And so Norman was, I can't even tell you how many rabbits. It seems like he found 4 of them.
Yeah, a lot. He just
between when we arrived yesterday afternoon.
He
and this
chased
morning.
one rabbit so far that he went right across the street.
Yeah, we weren't quick enough on the beeper to get him to come back home to us or come back to us. Yeah, so he was very excited. Bella, interestingly enough, the grass here was pretty. I don't know. It's like straw, like dead straw. So it's like hard, and Bella enjoyed laying in it and scratching around in it. She likes to rub her back in grasses and rocks and stuff, scratch her back, and she enjoyed that. So I mean, everybody was pretty happy with it. We got to enjoy the air conditioning, and so we, like, again, overwhelmed. We're like 90 degrees. I mean, it's early May, so I don't think it's probably unseasonal, but 90 degrees and sunny forecasted for our whole time in Kansas. So we found RV parks to stay at. And then we get up this morning, and James looks at the weather. Would you see a news article?
I have a weather alert about central east Kansas is where we're heading today. And it says there's going to be severe weather. When I looked at it Saturday, it's going to be completely sunny and hot.
Yeah, so today's Monday. So when he looked at it 2 days ago, sunny and hot. We looked at it yesterday, and there was a chance of rain that creeped in, but it was saying 0.09 of an inch, barely nothing.
And now it's saying almost an inch of rain, and saying that there could be severe tornadoes.
Yeah,
severe weather.
And it was supposed to be again, 90 degrees, and it's going to be like 65 degrees today. And so now we
got up, it was 50.
Yeah. So now we are a bit worried about tornadoes. There's a tornado chance for, I mean, even we called this morning and made sure that there was a spot available. also a weird thing, the RV parks in this area. And we are on a 2-lane highway, you know, 1 lane in each direction. We're going through rural country. We're not going through any big cities. So maybe just because it's a rural area and they just don't have the same demands as a busier highway would. But all of these RV parks are cash only. So, and no online reservations. So
you have to call. It's the strangest thing.
Yeah. And we're very much people who like to do everything on the computer if we can.
And you don't ever hear of people that would rather take a check than a debit card.
Yeah.
The place is like, you got to pay cash or you got to use a check.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy to me. It's like being back in 1980. It's crazy.
I mean, it works out okay, I guess, for us because we have a tendency, just because we don't know what our day is going to look like from one day to the next. If things are going to change, if our desires are going to change, if James is feeling a lot of energy, maybe he'll push through further than he planned on originally. The other way around, if we start feeling wore out, we're tired, we've had some things happen throughout the day that we weren't anticipating, then we like to stop before our original plan. So we try not to make reservations when we're staying at parks until the last minute, just in case. But so I made the phone call today to reserve our spot for tonight, and it's the last spot available. It's only available for one night, and she made sure that we understood that tornadoes are expected in the area tonight, and to make sure that the alerts are on our phones so that we know when we need to go to the storm shelter. And I just...
Yeah, that was the other thing about the RV parks. Why I booked RV parks.
Yeah.
Because the RV parks I booked had storm shelters.
Yeah.
Because we were going through Kansas. That's what happens in Kansas.
We have a friend who lives in the Dallas area, and her husband works in Oklahoma, so they've been dealing with a lot of tornado stuff this spring. And then we have a friend in Iowa that we're actually going to see next week, later this week actually. We'll spend a couple of weeks with her, and she's been dealing with a lot of tornado warnings. And so we knew that it's tornado season. We knew that they've been active, but when we looked at the forecast, we were like, oh, we are sipping through the perfect timing, and it literally changed overnight. So I definitely want to put that out there for you guys who may be traveling, especially in the spring, through the plains areas. I mean, it's a huge region when you consider it's from Texas all the way to the Great Lakes. You know, if you're passing through the middle part of the country this time of the year, definitely be tornado aware. I can't even believe it's changing that fast. And it's like dark and cloudy, and again, it was supposed to be sunny. It forecasted the whole time we were arriving that it was going to be sunny. So
I can't wait. We're going to be storm chasers today.
No, I'm trying not to stress out about it too much. You know, we're seeing a lot of people as we're driving through with like old sheds and stuff that obviously wouldn't survive a tornado and that look like they've been there for decades. So trying not to have so much anxiety. Like, yes, tornadoes happen, but they don't always do damage. They just are in the middle of nowhere by themselves, you know.
If you've ever drove through Kansas, there's so many spots they can touch down.
And nothing.
And there's
nothing there.
You just see forever, just nothing, grass.
Yeah.
You actually see tractor lines or whatever they're called.
Yep. Yeah.
Because it's such big farming land. It's crazy.
So hopefully that'll be okay. We'll keep you guys posted. I mean, of course, if we witness a tornado, we are going to try to safely take a video of it.
Yeah, we're going to try to take a video. But I can't wait. We're going to strap Cara to the bumper so she doesn't fly away.
You're ridiculous. So for a little bit, what James learned today, so if you're driving and you come across a tornado, you're supposed to keep your seatbelt on, but do the best you can to get as close to the floor as you possibly can. So I guess curl over and then cover yourself.
Pillows over
with whatever you have in the vehicle, so that if debris breaks your windows, you're as protected as you possibly can be. I just wonder if, like, in our situation, we have the trailer attached to the back of the truck. Like, is it better to disconnect the trailer and let that potentially fly away, or do we stay hooked to it? Which, in my brain, I mean, it's got a lot of weight in it, and our whole life is in there, but it's a kite. Like, it's fairly light in general as far as buildings are concerned, and it's got a lot of airspace underneath of it, so I imagine a gust of wind can get up and take it away. Do we want that attached to the truck? I mean, too many questions, and I'm trying not to stress out about it.
It said not to go in the storm drains, and to me, like, I just drove past a storm drain. That's where I would go if I seen a tornado coming.
But a lot of times, they have
said
flooding
it
rains.
Follows flooding rain, so then the storm drain would fill up with water. Well, I would probably still get into one of these storm drains, even if I just stick my body in. If the water comes, get the fuck out of it. I don't know. That's where I would go, is a storm drain. The other thing they said is, I guess a lot of people think overpass, if you get under an overpass, if it's all cement, that's the safest place. But I guess
they create like a wind tunnel.
It creates some kind of vortex, and it actually sucks things into the overpasses, so the potential of getting hit with a flying object becomes greater, which I never knew. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we're passing on what we learned, knowing our new circumstances today, on to you. So if you're traveling the country, dreaming of traveling the country, you can be aware and conscious of those decisions and what to avoid and what to look for. Yeah.
But overall, it's been a great trip. Can't wait. And we get to see all of Kansas. Straight down the middle is where we're going. We are going straight down, and we're seeing all of it, because we started in Santa Fe, New Mexico area, and we're going all the way to Kansas City, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
So we are literally driving through the whole state of Kansas.
Yes. And we can't say it's the first time we've been to Kansas, but it's, I guess, the first time we spent any decent amount of time in Kansas.
Yeah.
We've been to Topeka. Oh, you're right. It was Topeka, Kansas.
Topeka. Right. I just want to bring up one more story that happened yesterday while we were driving, and I think Cara probably peed her pants. So anyway, she looked like she peed her pants.
Oh man, that was terrifying.
So the dog's crying, whining. We're like 2.5 hours in. We got a couple hours to go, and whining. But there wasn't
Bella's getting like loud about it. Like,
there's not a good area just to pull over.
It's super narrow road, and it's just farmland
like,
on either side.
They have no breakdown lane, so I just couldn't pull the trailer over to let the dogs out. So I finally see a road that has a pretty wide landing or entrance. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna. It looks like an entrance to a driveway. So I'm like, we're in the middle of nowhere. Every direction, you can't see a house, you can't see nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm
just
like,
grass.
I'm gonna pull over right here, it'll be fine. So not even thinking about it, I pull over because the road, this driveway, which I think, or road, whatever it really was, I have no idea. No sign, so it didn't have a street sign. So I pull over and I'm blocking this road.
Just to make sure that the camper, you know, we're a little bit still PTSD traumatized from our car accident.
Yeah, I like to get off the road.
Yeah, he wants to be as far off the road as possible, and that gave him the most space to do it.
So I get off the road and I get out and I come around. We're going to leash up the dogs, and I see a cop with its lights on, but I just think it's going to pull over a car or something. I have no idea.
Or, yeah, that it's on its way to somewhere, that it's going to zip past us.
He literally gets off the road onto the grass, heading straight for us. And it was crazy. And then he gets on his loudspeaker and he's like, "You're blocking the road, move forward." So in my mind, I'm sitting there.
We're like, takes us a second to process because so much just happened at the time.
Oh, he just about really, he almost ran into us when he took the grass. And
I'm sure it was like a last minute decision for him. Like, he was planning on turning on this road and realized we're literally blocking it. And so he last second swerves off into the grass.
He came at us fast.
Yeah.
So crazy. So whatever. So I'm like, okay, so he's bitching because we're blocking the road. But then all of a sudden I think to myself, okay, there's one cop just came. So I'm like, oh, he's telling me to move because there's emergency personnel coming next.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be able to go. So I look, because we're in the middle of nowhere, you can see forever. And all of a sudden, I see more lights coming. I'm like, oh, no. So Cara didn't even know what the fuck's going on.
I'm panicked because I can't see. The truck's in the way. I can't see the road. I can't see what he sees. I'm not registering what's going on. He just like, I got, basically like, I got to go. Hands me Norman's leash. And I'm like, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to get in the truck? Am I supposed to try to load the dogs up? And I was like, you know what? I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I can't see the road. James just freaked out. Guy told us to move. I need to get away from the road. So I just like run, into the farmland or whatever to the side.
So I fucking pull the truck forward. 2 seconds later, now there's a barrage of emergency vehicles. So we left very quickly.
Yeah, Bella peed. She stopped crying. Norman peed. We jumped in the vehicle and left.
In the middle of nowhere, you just never
the timing,
know.
Man.
We friggin' pull over, which I think is going to be an easy, let the dogs out, go pee, get back in and on the road.
Yeah.
But nope. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was scary. You're right. It took me a second when you started talking about it. I was like, what is he talking about? But yeah, that was a scary
She says
moment.
she was crying when I got back to her.
I was. He's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just really scared. It's like, I just panicked. I didn't.
But we got out of there, and we don't know what happened, but a lot of emergency vehicles heading to that spot.
Went down that road, yeah. And it was a dirt road even. I mean.
That dirt road, it was.
Like he said, we could see, it seems like for miles, and we saw nothing in that direction.
Yeah, didn't see a house, nothing. Now, we don't know where the sheriffs were going.
Yeah.
But, so that was our adventure yesterday, but it's been a good time.
Hopefully no tornado drama, and it'll just be for your information now, to be extra aware, regardless of what the weather says is going to happen. If you're traveling through the plains.
And one of the things when you come through the plains, you see a lot of natural gas, and you see tons of oil rigging, and then obviously tons of farms. So there's a lot going on in the plains.
Oh, and this happened to us the last time we came through this region too. So the last time we had taken somebody to Iowa, visited in Topeka, and then made our way back into Colorado through the Four Corners before we made our way back to northern Arizona. And this was years ago. I mean, probably 8 years ago now. But when we were making the drive, we didn't realize most of our trips were off of major interstates, not these back roads, highways through farmland, and you will go hundreds of miles without seeing a gas station. So the first time we came
that happened
through,
yesterday too.
Yeah, that's why. So the first time we came through, we went through plains, hundreds of miles without a gas station. Didn't realize it was an issue until we were getting to like 50 miles left, and we're like, okay, well, I don't remember the last time we've seen a gas station, so we're gonna see one soon. And we barely made it on fumes before we got to a decent sized town that had a gas station. There was a lot of gas stations that we saw along the way that no longer existed. And then yesterday, they were closed. And then yesterday, we kind of ended up in the same situation. James had mentioned a gas station in New Mexico, I think it was, and Allsups.
Well, we had a half a tank of gas.
The gas is finally below $4 a gallon. He celebrated it and was exciting. And then we never saw a gas station again until we were at, what did it say?
10 miles left.
10 miles left on our gauge.
The gauge was further down than I've ever seen it.
We found out yesterday we have a 32-gallon tank. You put 30 gallons of gas in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a little scary. So I definitely... His backup plan.
Get gas anytime you can.
When you get below a half a tank, just get gas. When you're driving through these rural areas. His backup plan was that our generator has gas in it. So he was going to siphon it out of there if he had to. Otherwise, we always have a gas can on us for the generator. Probably just keep some gas in there in case when you're going through these areas. Because when you're pulling a trailer, your gas mileage isn't as good as it is when you're not pulling a trailer.
And yesterday when we left where we were...
And the wind, oh my goodness.
To give you an idea, it said a full tank of gas would get us 4 hours, and we drive 4 hours. The mileage matched up, but the mileage got so bad yesterday because it was so windy that we had... It said we had like 20 extra miles to be able to go to get to our destination, but we ended up 60 miles difference from the gas tank to where we were going. So when you're pulling a trailer, it's windy out, you use more gas.
Yeah.
That's it. And you got to be mindful. I should have got gas when I was a half a tank. I just assumed I would see a gas
Yeah, we
station.
went through a little bit of Oklahoma. We went through like the northwest corner of Oklahoma and into Kansas. So all through there, it wasn't until we were 38 minutes away from our destination before we got a gas station. It was crazy. It was a little sketchy there for a minute, a little scary, but we made it. No harm, no foul.
And right now, when we left, it's already in the same thing because it's windy again today, and it's slow going when it's windy because it pulls the trailer all over the road. But so we're driving slow. But when we left, it said I had plenty of gas to get to this next spot we're going. And already we've only been on the road for an hour, and now it still says I have enough, but only within a 4-mile difference, and it was like a 25-mile difference earlier.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy, so we're already losing gas mileage. But we have been by 2 gas stations. So we're probably not going to see another one.
Until we're almost out.
Stay tuned.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. And stay tuned for our updates on Kansas tornado stuff and Kansas City. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.